Good morning. Happy Tuesday. I'm just messing around, guys. This is so much fun. You know, I'll set up my gear down here, loopers and stuff, and just go for it for hours, and then I lose my head sometimes, you know, and that's where creation starts. I'll get an idea from that. Sometimes just having fun. Yeah, just having fun, guys. Good morning. You know, I went outside this morning. I'll turn that off, but try. I went outside this morning. I was going to film a drone shot. I can take it off my back porch and get up about, I don't know, 120 meters or so, whatever the legal limit it is. It kind of stops you when you get there. And you can usually see the bridge and all down the river both ways, you know, north and south, around the bend, just a little bit enough to see Grapevine Trail, you know, in the distance. Well, this morning, I took it up, couldn't see anything, got as far up as it would go, still in the clouds. I took, you know, you can take it, you know, I don't know. I don't like to get it too far out of sight, but I couldn't see it once it got up 50 foot above the house, gone. Anyways, it's GPS, it comes right back, but couldn't do it. So, and eventually today I'm gonna go kayaking. I know I will, eventually. Anyways, what a weekend. Holy cow, I don't know how to start. I'll start with Friday, cold ball and the get down. We played up at the Atomic Pavilion. They put us in the garage, which is the old bootleg, basically. But anyways, really cool room, great sound. Oh my gosh, sound and lights, spot on. You guys hired the right people. These guys, they got it. Anyways, got to do that. Then that was till 2 in the morning or so. Drove home. Next day, I did a Tiny Desk concert. You guys check it out on my my Facebook page. I did a link to the YouTube. You can search it on YouTube. I did Grandma's Ring on a Tiny Desk. It's called the Tiny Desk Crashers over at SIU. Pretty cool. Thank you guys for all that. Anyways, then that night, play with Sturgeon Friends. I haven't did that for a year, seems like. That was fun. I love playing with Anthony, Kurt, and of course Evan, you know. It's like a brother. So, anyways, we had a good time. Got to see some cool people, you know, some people I haven't seen in a while. Don came out. That was cool. Nonetheless, Isaiah Cunningham, if you haven't checked that guy out, go check him out. He was sitting in the audience for a minute, and I'm like, you know, nobody in here knows how badass that dude actually is. I do. It was good to see you, Isaiah. Nonetheless, I'll tell you guys, this next week, I've got a couple things. I've got a lot of studio time I have to do. I do this thing where I promise out my bass tracks, and then they do this thing where they pay me. And then once you've spent that money, it's like you're working for free, right? So how we all are. Well, that's not how it really works. But I owe about 10 bass tracks this week. Nonetheless, I can't wait to see you guys around. Started booking some shows locally. I'm going to do a lot of the bass solo stuff, but also, I pick up my... I cut it out there for a second. I realize I have everything hooked up through my looper pedal, so it's a lot easier to put it onto the phone. And it's just funny. Anyways, we'll try this one. Change the way he thinks. get up. Gotta get up. Gotta get up. Gotta get up. 13 years they try to teach you what you need to know. One day in the forest and the trees will tell you, throw it out, let it go. Banks and schools, jobs and churches, trying to make money every day. Got to change the way we think, we gotta make a difference. Do the things you say, you have to do all things that you say. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You can try everything, but you can't make him think. Oh no, oh no. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Example's the only thing that will change the way he thinks. So you gotta get up. Gotta get up. Gotta get up. Gotta get up. The bird, the fish, the wolf, the cat. Well, what do you think they're looking at? Next time you're in the city, we'll take a breath. You know what to do about that. The footprint of our life, well, it's getting bigger every day. Got to do the things you think, you gotta make a difference. Gotta do the things you say. Let's get this before. You got to do the things that you say. That's all we gotta do, really, guys. Do the things we say. Have to do all things that we say. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You can try everything, but you can't make him think. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Example's the only thing that will change the way he thinks. So you gotta get up. Gotta get up. Gotta get up. Gotta get up. But you can't make him drink. You can try everything, but you can't make him think. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Example's the only thing that will change the way he thinks. Yeah. So you gotta get up. Whew. Man, I tell you. Every once in a while, I realize I like take half a verse, sing it over the other half of the verse, and you go, oh. Then you try to redirect. I don't know if you guys do this. People out there that, you'll put that other half of verse in the next half of the verse, so that half of verse, so you get to say it all, but it's in reverse. And then your mind's going, wait, did I say, wait. And you don't, nonetheless. Love you guys. I think a lot of the things that I go through in life is all, right up here. Like the most of us, we think it through too much sometimes. Sometimes when we just let go, get out of our comfort zone, go do something like the other day, that Tiny Desk concert. and doing these songs where I sing and just play bass. Well, it's kind of out of my comfort zone. I wrote the songs on the guitar, and that's why I've been doing them on the bass, because taking me out of that comfort zone. For a bass player, I learn better bass parts that cover the vocal line. Generally, in my case, sometimes I know I'm not going to hit that note, so I'll do a weird lick or something, and that way the focus is somewhere else. Well, I'm kind of babbling here, but what I'm saying is, just be yourself. The more you be yourself when you do this stuff, the more like nothing else you become, and you get that signature sound, which is, was that the right note? That's my signature sound. I think he meant to do that. Let's see here. You got to get up if you want to change that dial. You don't play, you'll never win. Well, the time is now, you can't wait for them. Friends and places, watch your spirit grow, discovering things we need to know. Found your way already there. Figuring out what to sing about. Travel the world in and out. Found your way already there. Found your way already there. Standing here in my basement, trying to find the words to that song. Thinking about last week's adventure. I know I have been here too long. Friends and places, watch your spirit grow, discovering things we need to know. Found you'll be already there. Figuring out what to sing about. Travel the world in and out. Found you'll be already there. Found your way already there. Friends and places, watch your spirit grow. Discovering things we need to know about. We already there. Figuring out what to sing about. Travel the world in and out. Found your way already there. 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 Found your way, you're already there. Found your way 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 already there. Oh man, just messing around, guys. Good morning, happy Tuesday, and do something cool. Enjoy your day. You know, go outside. It's getting warm here in Missouri. I don't know what the deal is. It goes from like 7 degrees to 60 possibly by tomorrow. Hell, who knows? I may go camping tonight. That might be the thing to do. You know, I have to say this. There's a lot going on. There's no political side to this, but I have to say that I do get I understand some Spanish, and I really like that Bad Bunny thing, only because I like Lady Gaga, and he brought Lady Gaga out on stage. That's cool, you know. I seriously, I followed most of it. I'm a fan of Puerto Rico, that's for sure. Like to go there and ride my bicycle around that perimeter road sometime in my life. You know, the one time that I've been to San Juan, it was one of the most beautiful Spanish cities I've ever seen in my life. You know, the Spanish Fort part of it, beautiful. Yeah, Calibre Island, I want to go there, camp a bit. Or, you know, there's things I want to do with Puerto Rico, you know, personally. So, gosh, that's part of the United States. Think about it, guys. That's all I have to say about that. You know, heck, I thought the Broncos and the Bears were going to be in the Super Bowl. I would have bet money on that. Dang it, Bo. Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? Anyways, I'm going to get off this soapbox here for a second and just say, you know, there's a lot of people in this world that need more than you have. You know, and I think about that a lot. Sometimes, you know, when I'm, you know, driving down the road, you know, in a frenzy trying to get to Hardee's before they stop serving breakfast because I want that 2 for $5 special. You know, I realized that some people in the world would just die to have that. Actually, they probably wouldn't eat that sausage. Anyways, I'm just saying, you know, be thankful for what we have. You know, there's a lot to say about just not being hungry. You know, I don't think most of us have ever not actually been, you know, most of us, even though you think you're hungry, there's a difference in hunger. There's a hunger pain that's totally different than anything that most of us have ever experienced. You know, when we think we're hungry, we go get some crackers or something, some potato chips. Well, if you think about it, that may be the more caloric intake than some people have had in a week in that one bag of chips. You know, and that's something to think about in the world. You know, is it your job? No, but it's your job to be mindful. You know, some people have less than we do. You know, no matter what it is. I have a hard time paying the bills sometimes, you know. And I look at other people that have a whole lot more than me, but I can't bring it to myself to be, you know, spiteful for someone who worked really hard or did something or even inherited. It's not my place. It's my place to make sure I do good and my family does well. So sometimes, you know, you step aside from all that and just get up and do something. That's what you do. If you're having problems, change it. Do something fun. We may only live this one time. Don't make it a dreadful place for yourself. And if you make it a great place for yourself, then everybody around you will. I think that's a lot of us are running down that rabbit hole of, finding the drama in negativity. Well, stop that. Just stop the negativity. Stop is a negative thing. Unless it's stopping the negativity. Then it's a positive action, right? How about it? Stop doing bad things and do positive things.